Today we are going to have a review of a costliest helmet from Steelbird. Let's see how it is. So this is the helmet and it is from Steelbird. It's called Aeronautics and the model name is SA1. I have already taken this helmet for a ride review and I have seen how this actually works. So let's start with the pros. So what do we have here? I don't know, what pros do we have? Do we have it? The only pro which I see is that it comes in funky colors. So in case if you want an Indian helmet with funky colors, then I think you can probably buy this. But at a minimum cost of 3,000, why would you buy this? But anyway, let's not go into that. Let's look at the cons. It does not have a useful ventilation system. So this ventilation system is exactly the same of what you have in other Steelbird helmets or in other helmets. I also have another Steelbird Air helmet with me. I have been using that helmet for like almost 2 years now. So I can probably put that helmet aside and show you like how it exactly looks. So we have two helmets here. Both are L size, 600 mm. This is Aeronautics. This is Steelbird Air. So both are from Steelbird. And what differences do we have? See, I told you, right? So the Steelbird Air itself has a lot of ventilation systems. So you have your ventilation systems here. This is one, and you have something in here, and then you have something in here. You have something in here, and there is an outlet as well here. So this is not any less when compared to the ventilation systems. So this has a good ventilation system. I cannot tell that you will not sweat at all. You will sweat, but you will sweat below 40 kilometer speed. You won't sweat beyond that because this ventilation system does helmet. See, the whole point is like Steelbird doesn't make helmets which are like absolutely useless. They do make helmets, but their helmets are all within the 1500 range. You cannot go beyond that. That's what I'm trying to tell. And one more major issue. I will not bring this issue up if this helmet was only 1,000 rupees, 1,500. But there is one more major issue with this helmet is that it doesn't help us with fogs at all. It doesn't have any mechanism to do anti-fogging here. See, the moment you wear this helmet, the moment you close your visor, if you wear any glasses or if you are wearing any coolers, it's going to immediately fog up. So in traffic conditions, when you are in the traffic and when you are breathing within the helmet, you must lift this visor up. So if you do not lift this visor up, it's going to fog. This is a major disadvantage. I don't know why in such a costly helmet, and this is the top of the line helmet from Steelbird, and they do not have that. I do not understand why they do not have this basic feature. They could have had a breath deflector in here, like Vega gave to TVS, like Axor has, like many other brands which has in this particular range, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000. So in this range, everybody has a breath deflector. I do not understand like why they did not give it. It's like a major miss which they have done. See, you cannot fix your action cameras in a proper angle here. So look at the way they have designed it. Where will you keep your mount here? I don't understand. You cannot keep your mount here. If you keep your mount here, it's not going to record in a proper angle or it's not going to stick properly. So this is like this. And if you keep your mount here or here, it's going to disturb the angle. Or even if you want to keep it here, still it will disturb the angle. There is no doubt in that. But again, as I told you earlier, in traffic, the visor is going to get really fogged up. So when it is going to get fogged up, you're going to lift it up. And when this lifts it up, if there is a GoPro camera here, then it will come in the way. Where else can we fix it? So you should fix somewhere here. You should fix somewhere in the sides. That's where you should fix it. So you don't have a natural way of placing your GoPro or any action cameras in this helmet. Or like in a weird case, like even if you do not use any action camera and if you use something like a Blue Armor AC, you cannot fit it. I mean, like where will you put that? I do have a Blue Armor with me, so I cannot fix this in this for sure, because this is going to come in the way, and it's not possible to fix anything in this region. This entire region is wasted. You cannot fix anything in here. And then it has a very light padding. It has an unusual light padding. Unusual light padding to a level that I don't feel safe at all in this helmet. So when I wear this helmet, I still do not feel that comfortable that it's going to protect my head. and this is my size. There is no change in the size. I did refer to their helmet size chart, and for my head of 60 centimeters, I should go with the large, and this is large. I was using this helmet for the last 2 years, and when I came back from this helmet to this helmet, I couldn't feel any much difference in the padding at all. It's like literally, yeah, a slight increase in the padding, but that doesn't make any difference. Let me just show you if possible. So this is like my 800 rupees helmet, and this is a 3300 rupees helmet. And look at this. See, you have some additional padding over here. This is going to press your cheeks. There is no doubt on that. That's okay. But coming here, I do not have much padding in this place. See, this is exactly the same padding which I have in this helmet. I don't find anything secure here. See, compared to TVS Expert helmet, I find that has a more comfortable and that has a more secure feeling padding than this. So if you have to rate this padding with that, I would call that as a medium padding, and I would call this as a light padding. I don't know why they would give a light padding. See, medium padding is what you will need. I'm not saying that you should have a tight padding. Tight padding are exclusively for race helmets. It's not for city helmets. But this, I don't know. I don't know why they gave such a light padding. And one more issue which I have in this helmet is that it doesn't have any chin curtain or any chin strap or any chin protector. So see, if you remember my TVS Expert helmet review, I showed you that there was a chin protector in this place. Chin curtain, you call that as chin curtain. So that chin curtain basically blocks a lot of wind noise when you're doing your highway rides. And it also protects you from a lot of dust. And especially if you have any microphone setups to your helmet, that is going to help you a lot. It's going to reduce a lot of wind noise. But in this helmet, you do not have any of that. You can see here that it doesn't have any of that. And also, this doesn't even protect from wind noise entering your helmet at any way. So if you are riding above 60 kilometers of speed, you start getting your wind noise in your ears. And this might seem a bit personal to me, if you'd ask, because your nose and your chin comes very close to this. So you don't literally have any space in this area. So the space in this area is very limited. So in case if you want to keep the Blue Armor setup here, the Blue Armor AC setup here, you will not be in a position to keep the air deflectors in this area. You cannot do that. You cannot keep the air outlets in this area or the AC outlets in this area. That is not possible at all. If you wear any goggles or if you wear any spectacles, you will not be able to place your spectacles in a proper position when you are wearing this. You will not be able to hold on to your spectacles, or your face is not going to hold on to your spectacles when you wear this helmet. So if you wear goggles or if you wear any spectacles, this is going to be a major issue. I could not drive beyond 10 kilometers as I was wearing my spectacles, and it was literally shaking. It was literally shaking. Every single bump of my bike, the glasses were shaking. So if your glasses are shaking, it's going to disturb your vision. And if it disturbs your vision, you cannot drive comfortably at all. So this helmet is strictly for people who doesn't wear any goggles or doesn't wear any spectacles. And even if you're not wearing any power spectacles, this is going to be an issue because this helmet doesn't come with the dual visor setup. So you don't have a dual visor setup here. So this is the only visor you get. The second visor should come here, but that model doesn't exist anymore. I don't seem to get that anymore. So if you have to protect yourself from UV rays, or if you have to protect yourself from sun, you don't have anything. Like you don't have anywhere to go. I can probably show you how it fits. So let me get my glasses. So let me wear this helmet now. I'll show you. Okay. So like I talked about, so I don't have any space in here. See, my nose is very close to this place, and my mouth also doesn't have any extra space in this area. So if I have to place anything over here like this, it's not going to be possible. Even if you have a mic, the mic should be really small. You can't have a big mic in this area. That's not really going to help. So you cannot have a microphone setup in here. Even if you have, it's going to be really disturbing. You cannot have an AC setup in here. You cannot set up your Blue Armor AC in this. And then let me show you the spectacles part. So I have my fast track goggles here. So let me wear my goggles. First of all, I cannot insert it. It doesn't go like that. It doesn't have any pockets to insert this. That's one. But anyway, let me try to insert it. Okay. So I have inserted it successfully, but you cannot go for a ride like this. That is not possible, because when you move, when your bike moves like this, your goggles moves like this. So when your goggles move like this, your vision is getting disturbed. And if you have a high power, I think it will be a even bigger of a disturbance. So if you wear spectacles or if you are going to wear goggles, then avoid this helmet at all means. The people who do motovlogging, avoid this helmet. People who wear glasses, avoid this helmet. People who have Blue Armor AC setups, avoid this helmet. So this helmet is not for you guys. See, the only candidate whom I think can buy this helmet is somebody who really wants to support Make in India products, no matter how bad it is, and can pay for the cost whatever they claim for. So if you are that kind of a person, then you can go and get this helmet. But you don't need to exactly get this helmet, because so there are other helmet options which you can buy within India. You can go for Royal Enfield helmets, you can go for Axor helmets, you can go for TVS helmets. So all of these helmets are manufactured by Vega. It's an Indian company based out of Karnataka, and you still have a made in India, make in India product. So these are the companies I would suggest you to go for, and not go for Steelbird, and particularly this helmet. Steelbird is worthy only when you are buying helmets of this range, somewhere in 800 rupees to 1000 rupees. That's all Steelbird is worth. So that's it, guys. So this is all I had to talk about this particular model from Steelbird called Aeronautics SA1. If you like more automobile content, please like, share, and then subscribe our channel for more awesome videos.